You only have to take one look at Matt Buck's face. That was a close one. Matt Buck's face to know, and I have to say, I have never seen him smiling before, and it's not a pretty sight.
It's official, the world champion is back in British Speedway. Yes, Ty Watt has rejoined Wolverhampton.
But, even more importantly, this week sees Birmingham making the journey across the Midlands to do battle with the Cradley Wolf Cubs. And Nigel Pearson has already boasted that Birmingham will suffer their second defeat of the season at the hands of the Heathens.
Can he be right? We shall see.
And as Chris Van Stratton prepares to celebrate 30 years in charge of Monmore Green, Wolves' response to their crushing home defeat to a rampant Bellevue is to make a phone call. The call is answered, and as you know, the world champion is on his way back to Monmore Green. Can Woofy help bring the Elite League title back to the Black Country? And is it correct that he comes back to these shores when his calendar does dry up? No criticism of Wolverhampton, but why is the Elite League merely a league of convenience for the big boys?
Well, controversial.
This is our sport.
Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Well,
next time in the production meetings,
yes.
Is there any chance people letting me know what's going on?
No,
because then I can put the mics on.
Well, yeah, that was all for nothing.
You know what I mean? Because I think, this sounds pretty good, but no one told me that you were going to do it. No. Luckily, I was watching.
Goodness me. Was he not there when we discussed this right at the beginning?
Well, he was there.
I'm busy doing other things.
He was there in body.
Anyway,
yes.
Before we go any further, I probably should say in the Speedway Tavern tonight we have our friend Matt Buck, who's not smiling as much as I expected him to be. We've also got Joseph Harris.
Hey.
And some say that when he goes to the toilet, his wee is pink. And his feet don't actually touch the ground. All I know is he's called Webby.
Good evening.
How you doing, mate?
I don't quite understand that, but good evening.
Hold on. I think you have another apology to make, don't you?
No, you're not going to... No. Really?
Yeah. Come on.
Have I got to?
Yeah.
This is getting to be a bit of habit, this, isn't it? So, we had a great show last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it was a good show. We spoke about quite a lot of things, and we made predictions about the National League Fours, which weren't until... this Sunday, not last Sunday, which was totally my fault, and I've got to learn how to read the fixture list. Gulp. Sorry, guys.
When I was calling you a prat off air.
Yes. I do. I got excited. I got carried away.
You do, though, don't you?
The one thing is that none of our predictions about the lineup were right. Because Daniel Newham can't ride because he's riding for Ipswich.
Right.
Big minus for us.
Yeah, that's a big blow for Birmingham, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going. This team surprises me all the time, but I think we'll probably be lucky to actually make the final. So we're not going to talk about that again. We'll all be happy to know we're not going to talk about that again. What we are going to talk about is all things Wolverhampton. Now, I'm wondering if our friend Webby is actually listening, and he's going to do the deed.
What am I going to do?
Oh dear.
The dirty deed.
The dirty deed.
Does he have
We're
to,
talking about all things Wolverhampton.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, you are
talking about all things Wolverhampton,
which is
I think so.
Oh,
okay.
Easier if I did it myself.
Yeah. It would just be easier if you did it.
It would have been, yeah.
To be honest. Okay, just forget it.
No.
So, yeah, would you like to expand upon your thoughts about Ty Woffenden returning to British Speedway?
Well, I think it was probably the right decision after Monday. Disappointing result against Bellevue. Poor meeting, but that's not really an excuse. Bellevue was simply better than us on the night. Thoroughly deserved their 12-point win and ended Wolves' unbeaten home record in the process. But Eunice Kilmaccorpy really did struggle on Monday. Wood didn't look particularly competitive, and I don't think it was a huge surprise that the club announced this week that he'd been dropped. And of course, Ty Woffenden's average still slightly underneath what Eunice Kilmaccorpy's was because he had a poor season for Wolves he had a poor season in 2014. There'd been whispers in the 48 hours previously that Ty might be coming back, but I'd sort of paid little attention to them because I didn't think it was likely. But must admit, I was very surprised this morning when I picked up my phone and saw the news that Ty had re-signed for the rest of the season.
Did you pick up your phone and then drop your phone?
Well, I didn't drop it. It's quite an expensive phone, so
Right, okay. Probably quite an expensive signing as well.
I would imagine so. Yeah, he wouldn't be coming for peanuts. We know that.
Yeah. So you obviously, I would imagine you're quite pleased. Certainly on one level, it's certainly going to give your playoff chances a push in the right direction. But you're also unhappy for other reasons, from the sound of it.
I mean, you think back to 3 years ago when Birmingham reached the playoff final, and of course, in the weeks building up to that, Paul bought Greg Hancock over.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly different because, of course, Greg Hancock isn't a Paul asset, whereas Ty is a Wolves asset. So, as I say, there's no criticism on Wolves' part. They're not doing anything that's illegal. But is it in the spirit of competition? And really, once again, it's a rider who's been very critical in his assessment of British speed, and in particular some of the British tracks.
What was it he said? Now you can see why I don't ride in Britain.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, of course, his fixtures have dried up in Poland and Sweden, and suddenly he's on his way back to the UK.
Much as I had for Greg Hancock at that same. Well, you mentioned, is it in the spirit of Speedway? I'd have to say yes, very much in the spirit.
It is
of
now,
Speedway,
really, yeah.
because
Unfortunately,
that's what Speedway's like. I'm not saying that's right, but there isn't a spirit of Speedway in the sense that you meant it. Is there really?
I have to say it's a very unlike Wolves move, to be honest. I mean, we're very, very patient with riders, and I think on occasions
Can you stop clicking now?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, so, take it off him.
Do you not realise?
Don't do it, Joseph.
You can have it back at the end of the lesson,
I'm
sir.
taking that off him every week.
I'm listening to this.
Shall I go get my coat?
Please do. So, no, sorry.
So yes, Spirit of Speedway. It's exactly in the spirit of Speedway. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But there's not a club in the country
that wouldn't have
done it if they had the opportunity, is there? And that's
that's the reality of the situation. But it certainly gives Wolves a fresh impetus, and with our sort of form faltering a little bit. I mean, it was disappointing to lose on Monday. I had a feeling that Bellevue would probably win on Monday anyway, but I think the scale of the victory was
12 points.
Probably
pretty big.
Yeah, for a team that had been unbeaten at home. Obviously, the Pool as well was another one a couple of weeks ago where we were right in the match until the last few heats, and then faltered a little bit towards the end. But it is for Wolves' point of view, it's a good move, and probably bearing in mind the average situation is the right move.
Well, we shall see on that one. I certainly think
it is quite ironic, of course, that people have criticised Ty for not riding in the UK, and now they're criticising him because he's come back to the UK.
Well, you can't win, can you? You can't win. From a personal point of view, I think it's good to have the world champion riding it in, particularly a British world champion riding in this country. It's certainly going to be good business for Wolverhampton because it will put bums on seats.
I think you'll see more people coming in through the gates with that level of intrigue to see the world champion in action.
You might even see me turn up. You never know. So, yeah.
On the subject of promoters and stances, I don't think Speedway and Spirit have ever gone together between rival promoters.
Well, we know that.
It's always been a very dog-eat-dog world, hasn't it, Speedway?
It has.
Always has been. I mean, I imagine it's the same in many other sports, probably most other sports, but you hear things like the spirit of cricket and the way that the riders, the players behave on and so on. It's not a thing it's not a Speedway thing, is it?
Well, this is it. So
it's just not.
It's that win at all costs, isn't it?
Great move by Wolves as well, says Snow.
It is.
It is a great move by Wolves at the end of the day. It strengthened the team twofold. It's a rider obviously on a false average coming back into.
And it's the world champion.
Yeah, of course. So
and possibly a world champion again, the way he's going at the moment. So
Certainly very much in the mix.
yeah, absolutely. Well, going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. When's Wolverhampton's next match?
22nd of August, which is home against Lakeside.
Okay.
So no away matches in that time. Lakeside's still in the mix, I think, for a top 4 spot.
Well, in fact, we'll have a look at the Elite League table if Webby could just stop playing with his phone. I don't know.
Says you and the pen.
Yeah,
I know,
Mr. Pen.
The pen said nothing.
Now the children, so
We'll have another look at
Eventually.
the Elite League table.
I don't know what's coming up.
Don't worry, it'll load up in. So you've still got the same protagonists in there. How's Swindon doing at the moment? Because that's the one that.
Well, Swindon obviously rode at Coventry on Monday and were given a bit of a thumping, to be honest.
Yeah.
Swindon's away form has been a bit patchy in the recent weeks. They were doing well away,
The
but
home form won't be that great, actually.
that's right. So it may well be that whoever gets that 4th spot might very well get in on default, you know.
Mm. So we've got Bellevue at the top, 49 points, 21 matches. Poole in second place, 18 matches, 40 points. Wolverhampton 22 matches, 39 points. Lakeside 22 matches, 37 points. And Swindon 22 matches, 37 points. So it's squeaky bum time, I think, between Swindon and Lakeside. And Coventry, no, they're out of it really, realistically, aren't they?
Realistically, yeah. Mathematically it's still possible, but I think they're going to have to really turn their form around completely, especially away from home, if they're going to get in, and I can't say that.
The thing that I always, when I look at the Elite League table, the thing that I always immediately note is, isn't it sad you can do the top 8 teams and you've done the whole league? You know, it's not much of a league when you think about.
It's been a fairly competitive league this season, in fairness.
I think that's been true. Yeah.
It's been unpredictable as well, so.
Yeah. So okay, so it's you would really say the top 3 there, Bellevue, Poole, and Wolverhampton, are pretty much
done the business to get through.
They're going to get through. It's who's going to win? Is it going to be Bellevue or Poole? Who's going to top the league? What do you reckon? It's looking Poole at the moment, isn't it? They've had some pretty strong results.
Well, as I say, a lot of people are fancying Bellevue, but I think Bellevue's Achilles' heel might possibly be their fantastic new home stadium, because there's no home track advantage. Poole haven't been there, of course. That's another thing that's worth pointing out. That match hasn't been rearranged yet.
Other than the fact that it's a size and other teams aren't used to that sort of a size, I mean, there is that side.
Yeah.
So it's engine preparation as much as anything, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I was there on Saturday, and it was quite revealing what a few Bellevue fans have been saying about some of the Bellevue riders' views on the new track. They're not liking it.
Right, okay. Is that the new track, or is that the preparation?
The preparation.
Yeah, I thought
because the maintenance costs. I think if you asked Scott Nichols, I think he'd probably prefer to be still at the old track next door.
Right. Interesting.
So.
Because everybody wants to go to Bellevue, and everybody wants to all the riders want to race on the track. I mean, that was the thing about the Knockout Cup second leg at Bellevue. All our riders were going, yeah, we want to ride there. And then at the end of the match, they was going like, when we're coming back. So
it's certainly well worth seeing. It was really, really impressive what they've done there.
I think it's one of those things that will evolve, isn't it? They will eventually get themselves a home track advantage. Because I think that we're seeing that at Birmingham now. We've always said that we haven't had
I would go as far as saying that if Bellevue was still at the track next door, then I don't think there's any chance anybody would stop them from winning the league.
Interesting.
But the new track has opened it up a little bit. Because we went there and probably should have won a few weeks ago. Swindon, of course, have already been there and won. Even Leicester went there and pushed them close. So it's not a guarantee that Bellevue are going to win it.
We shall see. I mean, if we can get back to the Elite League table just for a second. We look at the 4th and 5th place, which is Lakeside and Swindon, both on exactly the same number of points. At the moment, it's just the points difference that's keeping Lakeside above Swindon. Who's going to get out of 4th place?
I still think Swindon will get it.
Really?
Just.
Okay, we might have to have a little.
Well, the issue for me with Lakeside is they can't win away. They've had obviously they've won at Leicester, but I mean most teams have won at Leicester, to be honest, this season.
Well, yeah. I think Lakeside are going to sneak
it. Could be on default. Whoever gets it, to be honest, could be on default.
Swindon just keep tripping over themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shall see. It's going to be interesting. Whoever it is, they're not going to get to the final, methinks.
Well, whoever gets that fourth place is going to Bellevue, I think, for the semi-final. So,
yeah. Well,
if they finish top, of course. So,
yeah, well, they're going to get Bellevue or Poole, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, right. Shall we move on to the National League?
Why not?
Oh, by the way, we have some matches going tonight, do we? Are we watching some matches?
I'll have a look at it.
Okay, well, we'll have a look at that in a moment. So, first of all, Birmingham went to Bellevue, 18 points in front, a few more points in front after the end of the match as well. Decent performance from our lads, I thought.
Yeah, it was a good, solid performance all the way through. Obviously, Dan Halsey didn't have the best of nights, but really the Brummies could afford it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure really what he was doing in the first race, because that fall just appeared out of nowhere on the back straight. And then his second race, and to come out with that, he's dirt deflector on. I think that's a bit unprofessional, to be honest.
Just a little.
I shouldn't think Graham Drury was too impressed when he when he found that out. So
yeah. It's gonna. I mean, looking forward, that number one position is going to be very important for us when we go to Cradley. Who we book? That's going to be Ellis Perks.
I think so. He certainly looked the part last night, didn't he? So.
Yeah. So Daniel Hume, he scored 10 points. He has been incredible. He was winning in his last ride, I believe, before he fell off.
Yeah. Has he been the rider of the season so far for Birmingham?
Everybody that I've spoke to have said that. Daniel Hume's the one that everybody's, I think, most surprised about. And
it's a difficult call, I think, at the moment.
Well,
I think really the only one you could probably not say is rider of the year has been Zach Vitanek.
Or Darryl Richins, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. But Darryl Richins did have a good spell of form during the season.
He did, and he was quite good last night as well, which we'll come on to.
Tom Bacon obviously started the season slowly, but now is really right on it.
It's going to be interesting to see what sort of form Zach comes back to.
Yeah.
Whether the rest's done him good and Richard, in the same way as it did Tom Bacon, or seemed to do Tom Bacon the world of good. Talking of which, 14 points from Tom Bacon. It's just... words fail me. He's just really, really, really come on. Tom Perry, you would have expected Bellevue to perhaps be his sort of track at that level anyway.
It was a bit slick, in fairness. So, I don't think Tom Berry's been back on it since he came back from his injury.
No,
to be honest.
think,
He has knocked him.
He had a really good race last night, though.
Yeah.
Which was took my breath away. Jack Smith, 10 points. And another rider who you would have possibly thought would have done really well at Bellevue didn't do quite so good as that, which was Jack Parkinson at Blackburn.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So
got 4 points, but he's still learning. I mean, is he still 15? Is
15,
he?
Yeah.
Seems to be 15 for a long time.
A whole year.
Nearly a year.
Yeah, nearly a year. Yeah.
But can I just say something that I've realised? You mentioned our predictions on the fours and that they were wrong at the start of the show. You haven't actually said what the actual set team layout for the fours is yet.
We have got the 2 Toms and the 2 Jacks. That's right, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
The 2 Toms and the 2 Jacks. I mean, they all hit form. They could win the thing. Or is it Darryl Richins and Tom Perry? I will check that. We'll
check
have a
it
look
out.
at that. We will check that. So, yeah. So, we come away from Bellevue, 41-48, not a bad result.
Mm-hmm.
Still steamrolling people. I'm waiting for this thing to stop.
It's a juggernaut, isn't it, really? So
unbelievable. So then we have a match, Birmingham versus Coventry, and I have to admit I turned up expecting it to be a fairly routine win, much like the matches that have been recently. I mean, we was expecting Kings Lynn to be a bit tougher, and it wasn't. They made a good fist of it, didn't they, Coventry? Certainly over the first.
I think Coventry had one of the riders who's been able to score big points. I think they possibly
Or score
could
any
have
points.
nicked it. It was a strange Coventry scoreline, really, isn't it? Because I mean, the best two riders in the meeting were both Coventry riders.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex Perks was unlucky not to get a maximum. I think Mitchell Davey was unlucky not to get a maximum as well. But there was just no support for them.
Yeah. It was, So I'm just looking at the referee's scorecard, and I was under the impression that Alice Perks was in Heat 15, but according to this, it was Liam Carr.
That's right.
So I got that wrong. Okay.
That's right. I don't really understand why that last race had to be rerun when the meeting was already over.
I didn't understand why there was two riders excluded.
No, neither did
That
I.
made no sense to me. And I wouldn't normally be on the side of a Coventry rider, but I thought Daniel Hume should have been excluded and Liam Carr.
Well, Daniel Hume got up and then stayed on the track as well, so...
Yeah, but the thing was, he went, nearly
First.
fell, and Liam Carr put his bike down.
That's
from what I saw, and so anyway, it didn't really matter, perhaps except to Liam Carr's back balance. So, first thing is back to the same old with guests. I bet Luke Chessel scores more than 2 points on Monday.
Oh, I imagine he will do, yes.
Against us, which won't go down very well. He was trying hard enough. It wasn't that he wasn't trying. It just didn't work for him, did it? And unfortunately, but Daniel Hume again, brilliant. The first rider to beat. I'll think of it. Was in a minute. It was the first rider to beat Alice Perks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Good win for him there. Darryl Richins, 8 points, 2 bonus. I thought Darryl looked much more like the rider we saw right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's right.
And perhaps the fact that there was a little bit more on the track last night might have played a part in that. I don't know. Tom Bacon tried so hard. I think he was a little bit unlucky to only score 5 points. To be honest, I thought he was much better than that. Tom Perry, 11 points.
Only got a bit more like it last night, wasn't it, Tom Perry?
Only got one win, but what a win. It was the way he went up round the inside when they was expecting him to come round the outside.
That's right.
Off he went.
It probably wasn't the best racing last night, in fairness, but...
Although Heat 15 was great until it was stopped.
Yeah.
The way, again, Tom Perry bombed down the inside of them, down the back straight and down round 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mitchell Davey got him back again, but it was looking like a cracking race, wasn't it? Jack Smith, he got 9 points, 3 bonus, and Jack Blackburn got 8 points and 3 bonus, and there was the difference, really, it's been all season. It
says a lot that Jack Smith and Jack Parkinson and Blackburn have done so well, yet they're both still at reserve as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, can you think? Let's just look round at Coventry. So you've got Jack Smith on a 5.84, and their third heat leader, he's only on a 6, and that's their third heat leader, and he's 5.84 on reserve and 5.88 for JPB. How close those two are as well. Unbelievable.
Can I just say, all these mammoth wins that we're getting quite a lot throughout this season, it does beg the question, given the opportunity, do we move up next year?
Well, that's the question that everybody's asking at the moment. Personally, I think the crowd's not great, are they?
I don't think... I looked at the crowd. There was a local derby last night. There was a lot of publicity on the meeting. It was poor crowd. There was very little atmosphere, to be honest. Certainly from where I was inside, there was no atmosphere. I don't know what it was like outside.
It was okay, but
for me,
seen better.
That crowd last night would not sustain Premier League Speedway, in my opinion.
But the thing is, to my mind, the crowds are going down at the moment from what they were last year. Would we not get a better crowd if we went in the Premier League?
You may do.
That's the conundrum, isn't it? And I guess that's what this questionnaire that's been sent out.
There's been a lot of bad publicity for the National League as well this season, hasn't it? Especially with that Millwall meeting, which was, by all accounts, a bit of a shambles.
Yes.
It just makes the sport look Mickey Mouse, doesn't
Kent
it, really?
have been looking a bit Mickey Mouse, with the way they've been going about things a little bit.
I think there's arguments for staying in the National League, but at the same time, there's arguments for going up into the Premier League. But again, the worry for me with the Premier League is that pretty much all the clubs in that league are losing money, especially the ones near the bottom.
Yeah. It's probably. I mean, I was speaking to somebody about that yesterday, and we got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Well, money in the banks. Well, money in the bank.
That's right.
We got a result going on. Kings Lynn versus Poole. It's Kings Lynn 9, Poole 21. Ouch!
You would not write. Anybody who writes Poole off in these playoffs is a fool.
Oh, absolutely. Bjarni Pedersen on a maximum. Adam Ellis has got 3 points from 2 rides. Hans Anderson's won his first race. Troy Batchelor won his first race as well.
I bet that went down well with the Kingsland fans.
Yeah. So, yeah. Not looking good for Kings Lynn there.
Not the best. I mean, Kings Lynn pretty much out of it anyway.
And Poole are doing what Poole do, coming good towards the end of the season. So, okay, that was the Birmingham Coventry match. It was a good win. That's all you can say about it, really. Another sort of nail in the coffin as we just nail on that. I'm doing good with the nails today. Nail on that top spot, which means nothing, as we know.
That's right. So,
why has Richard's scoring fluctuated over the summer, says Stan?
He's a better rider than some of his points have suggested. Well, that's a good question. I wish I knew the answer. My suspicion, and it is only a suspicion, it's only a guess really, is it's got to do with the inconsistency of the track. The last 2-3 weeks the track's been fairly consistent. Yesterday it had more dirt on than it's had for a while. Not too much dirt, because you don't want too much dirt, I think, at this level.
No.
And you know there was stuff there for him to work with, so whether that's played a part, I suspect it has. Who knows? Or maybe he's just got a good night's sleep with his new baby. Yeah, because that's another possibility, isn't it? Yeah, he is a better rider than some of his points have suggested. And my guess is actually that Daryl Richards will be at Coventry. I have a feeling he was picked because he knows Coventry well, doesn't he? He spent a whole season there last year.
That's right. So
it's anyway. We'll have a look at that perhaps if we have time at the end.
More importantly, can you pass me the bottle opener?
I can.
Okay, thank you. Because what it is, you see, there's only one bottle left, and I want to make sure it's me that has it.
Yeah, but if I've got the bottle opener,
I use my teeth.
Can't get the stuff from there. So we'll have a look at Cradley, and then we'll have a look at Cradley versus Birmingham on Monday, which is the match of the season so far, I would guess.
in the National League.
In the National League for sure. So there's not a lot been happening at Cradley other than they did their what's it called, Golden Hammer.
Golden Hammer,
Hammer, which was won by predictably, I think, by Steve Worrell. Only one Brummie. Some conspiracy theories going on about that at the track on Wednesday, in the sense that we're racing them on Monday. Perhaps they didn't want to let them have a look at the track. Tom Perry knows the track.
Perry knows it anyway, so
there's no problem with him being there. Thoughts?
Well, Cradley obviously are going to look for any advantage they can, and Cradley really need to beat Birmingham for me if they want to be in with the. If they want to have a chance of getting into the top 4, because I still think Bellevue are going to nip in front of.
Okay, we're talking conspiracy theories. I want to have a look at the National League table, if I may.
Okay. I'll get that back up.
And I will come with a conspiracy theory, if I may. So you got Cradley in 4th place and Eastbourne in 3rd. And Bellevue in 6th. Possible. Do we let Cradley beat us? In the hope of...
I can't believe you just... I can't believe you're
Eastbourne.
Sorry, I just... Something went wrong there. I'm sure you just said, do we let Cradley beat us?
It's a thought though, isn't it?
This has to be done.
It's a thought.
It's
a thought.
no.
I'm not seriously
He's my rider,
suggesting it. I'm not
can't.
seriously suggesting. My suggestion is we go and beat the hell out of them, but I don't think we're going to go and beat the hell out of them. I think it's going to be a very, very close match.
Cradley, I mean, but Bellevue have definitely got a better point advantage, haven't they? Than Cradley, I think, haven't they? So
if we could get, I just think Eastbourne are
the danger,
the real danger.
More so than Kent.
Well, because Kent, I mean, we keep beating Kent. I think we might well have.
I don't think they like that very much.
I don't think they do, and obviously they're having lots of injury problems as well, which ain't helping anybody.
Yeah.
At Kent, let's be honest about that. What I'm saying is actually it's not. It's possibly not the worst thing in the world if Cradley do beat us. As long as we beat them at our track.
No, I don't think it is. I think Cradley need to win the meeting more than Birmingham do. I think there's more pressure on Cradley.
Stan refers to Spirit of Speedway? Question mark?
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool. Well, yeah. You have to wonder whether it's something that, personally, I think you don't mess about it like that. You just go and get the points and
I don't think Graham Drew would let one of his teams deliberately lose a meeting, to be honest.
I don't think there's any Speedway rider in our team that would let him do it anyway. So, no, I'm being silly, but it's nice to be in the position where you can have those sorts of thoughts, though, isn't it?
It is a bit.
So, well, okay, we'll have a look at that match. What do you reckon? Who's going to win that?
I think Birmingham will win.
Really?
I really think Birmingham are going to go there and win.
Oh, you got more confidence than me, but you've been like that all season. I've been predicting tough matches, and then we go and.
We already faded, aren't you? In fairness,
I'm a
pessimist.
Proper Brummie. We're always. He'll tell you we're always expecting the wheels to come off, aren't we?
With dour.
Yeah, dour. That's the word. We're always expecting.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, always expecting the wheels to come off. I think so much hinges on who we have as a guest. And I think that we either get a good guest or we go rider replacement. Because you go back to the match against Coventry. If I can find the thing. Luke Chessel, 2 points. Rider replacement would have scored more than 2 points. Because you could have had Daniel Hume could have had an extra ride. Darryl Richards, Tom Batt. You can just go through the rest of the team.
On a totally different track, it might be a little bit different though. That's the only thing.
Well, again, it depends on the guest. If you get a good guest, fine.
Yeah.
But if you're getting an average guest, then you might as well go for average scores off rider replacement, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah.
I think Stan said what you were trying to say was if Brum lose at Monmore, don't worry.
Well, no. Can you think of any other team in the league that's gone on in any other league that's gone through a whole season with just one defeat or 2 defeats? If that's what we've actually got nothing to complain about how we do this,
and still
other than the fact
not defeated at home. Yeah,
the Cradley Wolf Cubs will love it. She's never.
We can't lose.
You do know for a fact Cradley are going to lord it if they do win.
Of course they are.
But to be fair, I mean you can't really blame them because I'm sure the Birmingham fans would do the same.
Absolutely.
If it was Wolves Cradley, Wolves would always do the same.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the nature of sport.
But all we'll need to do is just remind them of their Cub status.
Yes.
Kingsley 19, Paul 27 is the latest update.
It's gone that meeting, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's gone now. There's no way back for Paul Kingsley. I don't think so.
Nice to see. They got 2 on a maximum. Hans Anderson and Bjarne Pedersen. I've just realised. Of course, Bjarne Pedersen's on a maximum.
He's a reserve.
He's riding at reserve. It's just ridiculous.
This is a fast track system where we got Bjarne Pedersen riding at reserve. That's as ludicrous as Peter Carlson at reserve a few weeks ago for Wolves. They really have not thought this through. No, have they?
No.
It's going to be a problem next season because all the riders are going to be on ridiculously low averages.
That's the problem.
I mean, theoretically you could have a team next season could pick 5 heat leaders.
Well, this is where money talks, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where money talks.
How about Michael Day?
Mitchell
Mitchell
Davey.
Davey.
Well, that wouldn't be a bad shout. I don't know what's his average. Well, he's 6 point average.
And is he
so
available
fits.
on Monday?
Well,
I
yeah.
suppose.
I mean, he's got a 6 point average, so he would certainly fit. The spanner in the works, of course, is he might have done well at our track, but what's he going to be like at
On the green.
Wolverhampton?
That's right.
So, well, we shall see. We shall see. I'm looking through our riders, looking to see who's going to ride Wolverhampton well. I think Daniel Hume's got the necessary skill to ride.
I think so. Yeah, I
Well.
think Daniel should do well.
Tom Bacon, he made the gate.
I don't know whether he's ridden there before. He must have done. I would have
He
thought.
must have. He was with Mildenhall last year. They must have ridden. Because
Cradley were at
Cradley were Birmingham
well.
last year, weren't they? Yeah.
I'm not sure whether Tom Bacon's ridden on Moor Green before.
Obviously,
might be
Jack
wrong.
Smith and Jack P. They won't have ridden it before, and they're
Yeah.
such a big part of this team.
Well, I know Jack Smith's dad never liked Mamba Green, so maybe when he threw part of his engine into the crowd years ago. So
Lovely.
Dave, you're Ben Wilson for me, says Stan.
Ben Wilson wouldn't be a bad shout, actually.
Ben Wilson rode, of course, for Wolves about 10 years ago, so he would know the track.
He knows the track,
Well, he knew
yeah.
it 10 years ago. He might have forgotten since then. Don't think he's ridden there since. So
Ben Wilson wouldn't be a bad shout, actually. We shall see.
Tony Atkins ridden Mamba Green before, but I'm not suggesting him as a guest. But not for about 20 years.
Well, we've had him
Yeah.
as a guest. No. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I think what we're saying is come back, Zach, as quick as you can, mate. I mean, we criticise, or perhaps not us, but I have heard criticism of Zach that he's not having as good a season and so on. He's still our number one rider, though.
He's still the number one
He's
rider.
still
I
the
think
number one
maybe
rider.
he's plateaued a little bit, hasn't he? He hasn't really.
He hasn't, yeah.
There's a different pressure with him this year because
And there's
now
also
he's
different
expected to-
expectation
yeah,
from us.
because
And-
he's expected to do well.
And
so-
I think what's happened is last year, no one, like when we first got him, no one really expected much, and then he was
Yes,
just
I say it's a different
so
expectation.
good. But then this year, we expected him to be good already. So
But he's still the number one in the team that's top of the league. What are we complaining about?
What is it? Ipswich, let's see how they're getting on against
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe will be an interesting.
Scunthorpe
Match.
again, another club really struggling, aren't
And we'll
they?
have a look
So-
at the Premier League table in a minute as well, because we haven't looked at that for a
As
while.
a-
Danny King on a maximum,
Yeah.
Ben Barker on a maximum, Nico Cavatti on a 0 and a 3.
Daniel
And
Hume,
it's
2.
28-13.
Daniel Hume with 2 reserve as well.
Oh, Daniel Hume, of course, he rides for Ipswich. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's just kicking on, isn't he? He's just getting better and better. Confidence.
That's right.
Confidence.
Isle of Wight in action tonight, didn't they? Aren't
I
they?
beg your pardon?
Are the Isle of Wight in action tonight?
Would you like to spray that one?
He's on the end water as well.
We'll have a look in a minute. It's the Isle of Man.
Isle of what? Isle of Man?
Isle of, yeah, some island or other. No wonder I never got to see them ride. Somerset at the top. They're going to finish top, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Glasgow in second place. Edinburgh, Peterborough with Sheffield nipping at their heels. That's looking fairly competitive, isn't it? Really.
That's right. Yes. Ipswich again, though. I mean, they always seem to look like they've got a strong team, and it never works out.
It
for
never
them.
works for them, does it?
So
Is that did their track and
I don't know what it is.
because they do looks a good team. Ben Barker,
That's right. Yeah. It just
Danny
seems-
King, Nico Cavatti. Wow, that's a top three you'd die for in at that level.
That's right. Yeah. So
But not happening for them.
It's a team game.
So yeah, I think when we get to the playoffs, what we have to do, folks, is for each division we'll give our predictions who's going to win the thing. And the great thing about this, of course, is that we know that we're going to do better than Matt because Matt's going to predict Wolverhampton to win. So
might try the reverse psychology. Might try the reverse psychology.
okay, and red car versus.
Oh no, that's not that
No.
one, is it?
No, that's not. Although red car versus. No, that's
35,
okay.
yeah.
That was
Was it
that
that
was
one?
that was working.
I know red car at
Oh,
35.
it's the 11th. Right,
Yeah, red card
There we go.
35, Comets 25. Adam Roynan got 4 points.
Klaus Vissing as well, another blast from the past for the Brummies.
Oh gosh, is he still riding?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 wins and 2/3. Matt Williamson doing well in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Good stuff there. Okay, so we've talked about Wolverhampton.
Yep.
We've talked about Cradley. We've talked about Birmingham. Is there anything else for us to talk about, Joseph?
You've missed the big one, Team GB.
Team GB. Let's go and have a look at Team GB. Would you like to pop that one up for us? This is a little something I got out of Monster Energy's webpage, which is Keith Chapman saying that Great Britain can be crowned the World Cup winners, and that is backing Ty Woffington's, whatever it is Ty Woffington's been asking to be doing, and they're talking about doing this a camp again, and they did last year. Is that enough? Go to another country for a little bit and
well,
is it what other teams do as well?
At the end of the
what other teams do is win.
At the end of the day, if you want to be the best, you've got to compete on the bigger tracks. Now we've got Bellevue, obviously, but there's precious few other top tracks. I mean Peterborough as well, but there's precious few tracks in this league that are as consistently as big as all the tracks on the continent, and that's where it's going to be very, very difficult to topple Poland, because if you look at their side, that's a team that could be together for about 10 years, and they were pretty dominant in the World Cup final a few weeks ago. Obviously, this ambition, it's got to be ambitious for Team GB, because it's been so long since we last won it. It's 27 years since we last won the World Cup, so...
Wow. That's longer than you, Joseph. In lots of ways. Some of the things that he's saying is what Great Britain achieved at Bellevue the other week was fantastic, and full credit to everyone involved. I hear what Ty Woffington is saying. We can play a role in helping Great Britain get to the top again, and I'll do everything within my power to put us in the best possible position of doing so. We've arranged for a management committee meeting, another committee meeting, which is coming up soon, and 2017 is definitely going to be on the agenda. The BSPA funded the training camp for Team GB at the start of this year, and that's an initiative that seems to have been beneficial, so similar things will be looked at again. Chapman is clean. This is what the interesting for me. He's keen to increase the flow of talent from grassroots level right the way through to Team GB. He said, I see a lot of National League racing with the Kings Lynn Young Stars, and the standard of the young up-and-coming riders really is encouraging. It has improved, hasn't it?
It has improved, definitely has improved. There's definitely some good riders coming through the system now.
Yeah, and the work done by Phil Morris and now Neil Batcher on the youth scene should be applauded, and I think the future for Speedway in Britain is bright. As long as there's some clubs for them to ride.
It's words, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's got to be action as well to back these words up.
As chairman of the BSPA, there's lots I want to do with the rules and making the sport more accessible and appealing as well, and 2017 is going to be a big year. There's already lots of work going on behind the scenes which covers all aspects of British Speedway, and hopefully the sport will reap the benefits sooner rather than later.
It's good that Buster Chapman's got all these ambitions for British Speedway. It's whether he's able to break through without some of the older promoters.
That's the problem, isn't it? And that's always the problem. That's always the problem. This one club, one vote. I'm all right, Jack. I'm looking after my interests.
That's right. So,
has anyone noticed? Most times you check a results score, there is an ex-Brummie involved from over the last 9.
I have noticed that.
Yep.
Yeah, we have had. There's a lot of good riders that we've used, and part of that is because we haven't got any assets, so we've used a lot of riders.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? Really?
Not great. Is it? So.
Have we got anything else you'd like to point us to, Joseph?
Yeah, Drury, not a happy bunny.
Okay, we'll have a look at that. Can you guess what that's about?
Yes, I can guess. Is it Kent by any chance? Or?
It is Kent. So this is in the BSPA site, and I'll just read it out, and then I'll offer an opinion, not necessarily my opinion, but So Birmingham and Kent have clashed over the postponement for the first leg of their National League Knockout Cup semi-final at Central Park. The meeting was due to take place on August the 22nd, but the Kings have announced their home tie will now be moved to September as they are decimated by injuries with at least 4 riders out of contention. Everybody go,
Oh.
Brummies boss Graham Drury said they may have a number of injuries right now, and I generally sympathise with any side who is weakened by injury. However, we at Birmingham Speedway received an email from Kent on Monday, August the 8th, which stated they have just learned that David Mason is unavailable on Monday, August the 22nd, as he has booked a holiday for his young family. We could not consider undertaking an important Knockout Cup semi-final on the proposed date. For an agreement to be cancelled and a meeting postponed because a rider is on holiday is ludicrous, and I have done my utmost to get this overruled. Thoughts?
Booked a holiday. This is really where Speedo is just so Mickey Mouse sometimes.
Well, this is where the National League is.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
The National League needs to be sorted out for next year. I've been impressed with the quality of the National League, especially last season, but the structure of the league I think needs to be looked at, because you've got clubs like Birmingham, Kent, who are standalone clubs, and then you've got
Can't
clubs
have
like
assets,
Kent,
can't make
and
money
then you've
from
got
assets.
the likes of Kent and Rye House and Coventry who are just using it to give new riders a chance to get some competitive laps in. So, but on the Kent thing, I mean, at the end of the day, if Kent have got injuries, that's obviously unfortunate for them.
I go back to 2008 when Birmingham had 13 injuries
In one
over the
season.
season. I don't remember us cancelling a single match or suggesting that we should cancel a single match. We just got on with it. It's unfortunate, and I feel sorry for the Kent supporters. It's because I've been there. I know what it's like. Well, we all have. We've all had seasons like that. There isn't a team that hasn't. But get on with it, for goodness sake. However, this is my opinion that I wanted to offer. As I say, it's not necessarily my opinion, but is an opinion I've heard bandied around. This is all rubbish. It's all done for our benefit. This is all, let's whip up a bit of a frenzy and get bums on seats. And
You're suggesting it's a bit of tub thumping from Graham Drury, are you?
well, Len Silver as well.
Yeah.
He's not, he's been around. He knows the.
He knows every trick of the book,
Yeah.
the old Uncle Len. So.
I just, I wonder whether maybe there is something in it, and they've thought, well, come on, let's stir the pot a bit.
Can I just say though, if it isn't that, you don't see stuff like that happening in other sports, like you can't go to the Olympics and then say, actually, could we not do it now? I'm going on holiday. Do you?
No, absolutely. But it's why, personally, I've enjoyed my time in the National League, and I've enjoyed seeing the new riders. But I actually would like to go into the Premier League and take some of these new riders up with us.
Well, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the National League, there would be no Birmingham.
There would be no Birmingham Speedway. So yeah, absolutely.
It was the right thing to do at the time. But I just think Birmingham now probably need to start looking at moving away from.
Yeah, I think so. I think the crowds will continue to go down if we don't.
I mean, I know my dad's very keen to stay in the National League for a couple of years, but I think that would be the wrong move.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Tony Moore will make the decision that's right for him as a business.
It's good as well that they are convincing the fans for opinion as well,
Yes.
which is important because a lot of clubs don't do that.
Absolutely. Red Car Bears 40, Workington Comets 35.
Still very much in the mix, that one.
Yeah, it's only 5 points in it. The Klaus Vissing still got the same number of points as last time we visited. Adam Roynan, of course, has got a quick 6 points. That's not bad.
Not bad.
No, not bad. From reserve, Matt Williamson, 7 points from reserve. So, yeah, that looks like an entertaining match going on there. Next subject. Have we got anything else for us, Joseph?
We have talked a bit about it already, but Ty being back.
I think we've done that to death, haven't we?
I think we have,
yeah, we've done that one to death.
And then have we seen the Premier League table yet?
Yes, we did. We had a look at
had
the
it,
Premier League
yeah,
table.
yeah.
We've had a look at that. So
Okay, that's everything then.
Well, of course, the JP's back on Saturday as well. So
where is it?
in
This
Manila,
Manila.
which is a fabulous track. In
Thriller.
fairness, all the
Thriller.
The Thriller Miller, yeah.
Miller.
Oh, I've heard that before. So.
Oh, I wanted to claim that one.
Never mind. 10 years too late.
Well, predictions. Is it a track that Ty likes particularly?
I'm can't remember. I don't think he's won there before.
No, I think it might be one of the...
Poles tend to do well on that track, to be fair, but it's a fabulous racetrack. In fairness, all of the GP tracks this season, it looks as if they've finally got the track preparation right, because I don't think there's been a poor GP this season. They've all been really good to watch. And I think it's a good, and obviously I think the field's probably right as well. There's a good mix of riders in there who are entertaining to watch.
Biggest surprise this year would be?
Well, I suppose normally you would probably say Nicky Pedersen's struggling, but I'm not so sure that is a surprise, to be honest.
think he's shown signs of that
Yeah.
last year, to be honest. For me, the biggest surprise has been Jason Doyle. I mean, I've always known he's a good rider, but he's won a Grand Prix.
Probably not expecting him to do quite as well as he has been doing.
Yeah.
Antonio Lindbeck, of course, was a surprise, winning in...
I like Antonio Lindbeck. I'd love to see him riding British Speedway. I'd love to see him on our track.
I think he's a great rider, Antonio.
Yeah. I think he'd love our track as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see him riding over here. I don't think it's going to happen, but...
You never know. I mean, obviously, he's contracted to Paul, so Paul might bring him back for the playoffs. You never know.
Yeah. But do you think there should... Okay, we'll talk about that. Do you think that there should be I mean, there is a cut-off point about when you can sign riders and you can't sign riders. Do you think that maybe that cut-off point should be earlier?
Well, there's arguments for and against it, aren't there? Because at the end of the day, it's a necessity if you get injuries.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that with an doctor verified injuries, being a sort of exception to that rule.
Possibly.
Because it might stop some of the shenanigans, the Greg Hancock thing, although that was actually replacing an injury. It was Darcy Ward, wasn't it?
That's
if I remember right. So it probably wouldn't have stopped that. But the point being, from my point, is this thing that I always bang on about perception being so important.
Yeah.
That if you've got a vacuum and people can think, well, this is what's happened, that's what they'll do. People always do. I do it myself. We all do it.
If there's an option to strengthen your team, and especially if you chase a championship, then there's no. As I said before, I mean, I can understand why people maybe are sceptical about Ty coming back to the UK when he's been saying that he didn't want to he didn't want to be riding over here, but Wolverhampton have done nothing wrong. They've just
they've asked him and he said yes.
They've just merely replaced a rider who was struggling with a rider with a lower average.
Yeah.
On a ridiculously false average, admittedly.
Do you think then, maybe... So I've got an answer to this question that I'm about to ask, actually. Transfer windows, as in football, do you think that would be a way to go down?
Well, I mean, personally, I would like to see the whole way that teams are restructured completely revamped.
Okay.
Because I think, I've said this before, I think the average system now is just so...
Well, certainly is in the Elite League, isn't it?
It's just such a mess, really.
And confusing to people who don't follow Speedway as well.
Well, this is it. When you try to explain how team building works to newbies, and they look at it as if you've just...
It's not so much of a squad.
Well, it isn't a squad. It's
maybe the squad
system. I know not many promoters want the squad system, but unfortunately, I think at some point it will have to come in.
It might be what saves. Yeah. Well, certainly the Elite League. I
understand the traditionalists who say, I just want to see the seven riders in a team. That's so it's always been. But the reality is, it's not really working now.
No. I think particularly in the Elite League at the moment, a squad system may work. You have to worry and wonder, does it hand even more power to places like Poole, who've got loads and loads of assets,
loads
and loads of money.
If they've got the best riders, then...
that certainly is a case to be answered on that one. I'll have to agree.
But I mean, as I've said before, I don't blame Poole. I blame the system for allowing them to do it.
Yes,
Poole taking advantage of it.
As any other team would.
That's right. Who could take advantage of it would.
Absolutely. So.
I've got a complaint coming as well that the tavern is always closed when I'm on holiday. Well, it's been refurbished.
Yeah, it has been. It is being refurbished. Actually,
Yes.
we're having lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny we should talk about holidays.
Yes.
I'm on holiday next week,
Oh, right, okay.
but hopefully I will still be here.
I,
Yeah, look, I don't take a holiday
oh,
from
no, you
Speedway
don't.
Tavern.
That's right, yeah.
Well, not usually.
Gary
anyway.
loves getting drunk.
Yeah.
I am the David Mason of broadcasting.
Right,
Can
okay.
somebody explain this one to me? I'm not sure whether he's
No.
insulting me or
Who's David Mason?
he's a rider, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's the Kent rider, of course. He's missing
And he...
Ah,
Because
he's gone on a holiday.
Oh,
I
he's
see.
gone on
I've
holiday.
got. Well, we got there. We got there eventually.
All right, yeah. Thanks. I've been called lots of things. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, most of them by me.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got next week we have Cradley versus Birmingham, and of course our next home meeting is, I have forgot, what's our next home
Is
meeting?
the Isle of Wight?
Isle of Wight, that's right. Yeah, should be a regulation
I think
win.
that should be a regular. We say it every week, don't we? It should
Yeah.
be a regular home win, I suppose.
The Isle of Wight, isn't that the place that you accidentally went to the Isle of Man instead?
Yes, that's the point. Yeah. About 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so onwards and upwards.
But of course, the big one is
Monday night, yeah.
Will you be there?
All things being equal, if Joseph hasn't killed me on the go-karts that we're going to Monday afternoon, I will be there. Whether I'll be there to the end, because
You may have a few broken bones, but I'll try to keep your head
It's
in
a new
pack.
experience for me to go to Monmouth Green and cheer for the opposition, to be honest. But, or cheer for the away team, I should say.
you mean every time you've gone there to see Cradley, you've cheered for Cradley?
No.
Well, then it's not
I've
a
never
new...
been to see Cradley there since they've been rolling.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. But you will be there on Monday as well?
Hopefully I will be there, and I shall be joining, as of course I shall be joining with the Birmingham fans and hoping to see Cradley lose.
Do you think there'll be any sort of other Wolves fans there doing
There might be
similar?
one or two. There might be one or two. I'm not so sure there'll be too many. But
Yeah.
Well, there's no Wolves match until next Monday, so
Should be, for National League, it should be a good crowd.
it
you
should
would
be a
hope.
great atmosphere. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But atmosphere-wise, there's nowhere better than Monmouth Green, in my opinion, when it's rocking.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. Don't agree with you, but I'm not going to argue with you. Anyway, we come to the end of our transmission. I hope you've all had a good show. Thank you guys for those of you who joined in on the shout box, and we will see you again next week.